Good evening. Good evening and welcome to the Level 3 Applied Science presentation. I'm going to try and work a couple of screens here. So here we go. So welcome to the Applied Science Department. My name is Rob Baker. I'm the course team leader for Applied Science. I've been at Long Road for 4 years. I've been teaching for 13 years, and previously I've worked in the bioinformatic industry as a chemical information scientist. I'm going to introduce my team one by one. So if I can introduce you to Rob Austin. Over to you, Rob.
Hi, I'm Rob Austin. I've been teaching for about 12 years. I've been at Long Road for about 2 years now. And prior to becoming a teacher, I was a research scientist in the pharmaceutical industry.
Okie dokie. I shall introduce you to Denise Plant.
Hi, Denise Plant. I have been teaching at Long Road for 15 years, and prior to that I was a research scientist working in the genetics field.
Okay, and the final member of the team, Joanna Thompson.
Hi, I'm Joanna. I've been a science teacher for nearly 20 years, and I've taught in a variety of different institutions. I've been here at Long Road teaching on the applied courses for, this is my 5th year, and I teach the applied science and I teach in health and social care.
Brilliant, lovely. Thank you very much, Jo. Okie dokie. So that's the team. Things have gone in the wrong order, would you believe it? Okay, so at Long Road we are very proud in that you can combine a number of studies and can create essentially your own unique study program. Some students may wish to take 3 A-levels on their own. That's absolutely fine. Some students may wish to take just an extended diploma. Okay, it is completely possible to take 3 extended certificate courses. You can combine an extended certificate course with a diploma. It is also possible to combine extended certificates and diplomas with A-levels. So you can see in the green column that you can choose to do a single A-level with 2 extended certificates. You can do a diploma course with 1 A-level, and you can do 2 A-levels with an extended certificate. Within applied science, we offer 2 courses. So we currently offer the extended certificate, which is the equivalent to 1 A-level. We also offer the extended diploma, which is equivalent to 3 A-levels. This is a very committed program. So any students that are looking to apply for the extended diploma need to be extremely passionate about science and 100% want to have a career in science. Okay. So in terms of the courses, it should be this one that I talk about first. Okay, so the extended diploma is the 3 A-level equivalent course. You can see that it covers 13 units. 7 of those units are mandatory, meaning that they must be passed by the student. Unit 1, Unit 3, Unit 5 and Unit 7 are all examined units. So the student will sit the Unit 1 exam in January of their first year, Unit 3 in the summer of their first year, Unit 5 in January of their second year, and Unit 7 in the summer of their second year. Units 4 and 2 are internally assessed units, so that might be viewed as coursework units. So the students do independent work, and that work is marked by their teachers. So all 7 of those units must be passed. The remaining 6 other units from Unit 8 to 21, these are optional units, and they've been chosen for their particular interest. So physiology of the human body system would be of interest to somebody wishing to go into sports science or perhaps food nutrition. The Unit 10, Biological Molecules and Metabolic Pathways, which looks at respiration and photosynthesis, that caters for students who might want to go off to university to do biomedicine or biochemistry. We've got genetics and genetic engineering, which is obviously a topic of extreme interest to students. We've got 2 chemistry units, the industrial chemical reactions, which is all to do with kinetics plus equilibrium, so they get to look at some of the kind of chemistry that A-level chemists would look at and chemical engineers that might need to use in the future. We've also got a practical chemical analysis, which follows on quite closely to Unit 2, so they use a number of the techniques that they've learned in Unit 2 and demonstrate them at a further level in Unit 19, and then we wrap up with a medical physics unit which looks at medical treatments such as MRI scanners, X-ray scanners, which links in quite well with our links to Adam Brooks. Okay, so that's the course. I need to go. I think it was. Things have all juggled out of order, unfortunately. Okay, so the extended diploma course is predominantly a coursework-based course. So 59% of the course is obviously going to be done on internal assessments, which is obviously teacher marked. The 4 exams constitute 41%. So that's kind of the balance between exams and coursework for the extended diploma. The extended certificate course, which is a really popular course. This covers just 4 of the units that were within the extended diploma. Those units are units 1 to 3. Those are the mandatory units, so a extended certificate student must pass those units. The optional unit has been chosen to be the physiology of the human body system, again because a number of students often choose applied science with sports science, so therefore it makes sense to have a unit that is complementary to their other studies. So unit 1 is a traditional exam. It's looking at all 3 areas of science, where they'll sit an exam in January of their first year. The rest of their first year is finishing off Unit 2, looking at practical scientific procedures and skills, so a number of chemistry separation techniques. Unit 3 is examined in the summer term of Year 2, and we actually begin Year 2 with Unit 8. So there's a nice mixture in this course of exams plus coursework, which leads it to its kind of balance being more towards the exam side, particularly because Unit 3 is a really heavy unit in terms of the number of points that unit is worth. Okay, so 58% of the course is exam based. Okay, so this is a big change from the previous version of the course, which used to be 100% coursework. So exams are definitely a part of both of these courses. So we do try to prepare the students for examination techniques, as well as support them as best we can in the internally marked assessments. Okie dokie, what else do we do within the subject? Now, this is totally dependent on COVID restrictions at the moment, so we're not currently operating any external speakers coming into the college. But in normal times, as part of Unit 3, so for both the extended certificate and the extended diploma course, there is a ecology field trip to Hunstanton, where we go and do sampling of seaweed essentially on the beachfront. That links in with their Unit 3 plants and the environment unit. We have in the past invited in students from the University of Cambridge who are part of the Royal Society of Chemistry spectroscopy in a suitcase. They get to bring a mobile mass spectrometer with them, so the students are able to actually test samples live using equipment that we don't possess within the college, and this supports them on their Unit 19 work. We've had a number of guest speakers in Study Plus sessions. So our Study Plus sessions are on a Tuesday and a Wednesday between 2:40 and 4:10. So we get some guest speakers in. The guest speakers talk about their studies, where their studies have taken them and how their careers have taken off as a result of the kind of twists and turns that their life journey has taken. And for the extended diploma students, we work with a charity called Career Ready. So Career Ready run a series of 6 masterclasses which make students look essentially at who they are, what they want to be, and it includes sessions such as CV writing, job interview skills. So they get a lot of feedback from external people working with Career Ready, which hopefully prepares them for the world of work. We also get to visit normally a number of local-ish companies. I say local-ish because Suez are based just outside of Ipswich. That's been a really good trip that we've been to for the last 3 years. And we also go to EDF Energy. We also do Adam Brooks, but obviously not at this moment in time. Okay, so we have got a close involvement with Career Ready for the extended diploma students. So what do students at Long Road tend to do post Long Road? The 5 courses that I've listed there are the most common destinations for applied science students. Okay, so that's across the extended certificates and the extended diploma students. So biomedical science and biochemistry tend to be very, very popular, as do students wishing to pursue a career as a paramedic, a midwife, and nursing. Okay, in terms of students going into apprenticeship opportunities, the applied science course really does lend itself to students looking to become laboratory technicians, because they learn a lot of laboratory skills, and these are skills that will set them up for life in an employment in that kind of role. Okay, so a little bit about our students. This is an ex-student of ours. This is Saffron. Saffron was in our extended diploma course. She looks to have done very well for herself. She's totally changed her decision on what she wanted to do. She told me in her second year that she was considering food nutrition courses, so I helped her with her UCAS applications, looking at entry grades at various universities, and then she decided once she achieved her qualification that she was going to use some of the contacts that she'd built up via the Career Ready program, and she contacted Illumina, a Cambridge company, and they've agreed to take her on to do a degree apprenticeship. Okay, so she's working for the company, getting paid for the company, and also being paid to train. So it's a bit of a win-win for Saffron. So I'm really pleased that she's gone off to do something that is to do with science. I'm also going to share with you a Q&A with the current year 2 students. So first of all, my mouse needs to come back across, and it's not playing ball. Right, my mouse is back, so I need to stop sharing this slide and share something else entirely. Careful what I do here. Remove me. So clicking. If I play the video, hopefully this will play. Welcome to Amy, our year 2 extended certificate student. Amy, would you like to tell us a little bit about where you've come from? What was your
I previously went to Comberton Village College.
Okay, and did you study triple science or double science?
I studied double science.
Double science, okie dokie. So what were your reasons for choosing Long Road?
I actually originally didn't have Long my first choice. My first choice was another sixth form, but I didn't get into that sixth form, and originally I was really upset about it, and I thought like it was the end of the world, but in reality it's honestly one of the best things that has ever happened to me, because I've come to such an amazing school. Like honestly, I think I do so much better here than I would have done there. I've met like some of the most amazing people, and the teachers are just so helpful, and it's one of the best things that definitely happened to me. Yeah.
Brilliant, that's really nice to hear. So why did you choose applied science, and in particular the extended certificate?
I chose it because I thought it would be a good sort of overall subject. I want to become a teacher, and I thought that it's a good qualification to have because I didn't really quite know what else to choose.
Okay. What are your other subjects that you're taking?
I take history and English language and lit and lang. Sorry, I don't know why I couldn't say that then.
Cool. Do you think applied science fits in quite well with those two subjects?
Yeah, definitely, because they're a lot more exam-based subjects. So the course, for me personally, I would have really struggled with three big sort of exam subjects at the end of the year. So to have the coursework and the exams sort of spread out over the 2 years, it's really helpful for me.
Brilliant, cool. And what are your plans after Long Road? Are you heading off to uni?
Yes, hopefully I'll be going to university and studying history, and then I plan to go on to do a teaching degree after that to become a history teacher.
Okay, okay. So it sounds like you've really thought about this, haven't you? Brilliant. Okay, so what do you find enjoyable about applied science?
I like that it's really spread out. It's not like too full on at one point. I sort of struggle sometimes with my time management, so the coursework is really helpful because it's spread out over a long period of time, and there's not too much pressure in this one period of like short time, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah.
And I like the practicals. The practicals are always fun, and I love the teachers. The teachers are just so helpful. Like if you ever have a question, always there to help and help describe something if you don't understand it. Yeah.
Brilliant. So what do you find challenging about the course?
I'm not quite sure.
Lots of students say deadlines are a bit of a problem.
I'm quite okay with deadlines because I try not to put too much pressure on myself. But I feel like it's all variable, if that makes sense. I'm not quite sure, I have to say. Honestly, I don't have a clue.
Okay, you've been okay with it, and you found the science accessible.
Enjoyable.
It's not been too hard.
No, enjoyable. And if there's ever a bit that I don't understand or I'm struggling with, Denise is always super helpful, and there's always Subject Plus, which can help me if I'm lacking in a certain area.
Okay, excellent. So thinking back to when you were in year 11, what advice would you give to yourself after you've had all this time in Long Road?
I would just tell myself not to put too much pressure on myself. I felt like I put too much pressure on myself, and if I could give any advice, it's just do your best, and at the end of the day, that's all you can do. And don't get too upset if it's not exactly what you planned, because some of the worst things that you think can be the best. So yeah, just try your hardest, because that's all you can do.
Brilliant. So you're a good example, basically, where Long Road wasn't your first choice, but actually looking back, you're really, really happy with how it's panned out.
Yeah. I was talking to my dad actually the other day, and we were talking about how Long Road has just, I feel like I found myself at Long Road. I found my group of friends, who I am, what I want to do with like the rest of my life. Long Road has been like a blessing in disguise.
Okay, have you made new friends, or have you kept existing friends from your school?
I knew no one coming into Long Road, so I was really nervous, but like the sense of community and like it's lovely. Like I know so many people now, and it's so nice just like when you're walking in the corridor just to say hi to someone. And yeah, definitely yeah.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, then, Amy. So over to you, Kat. Thank you for joining our meeting. So same questions to you. What was your previous school?
My previous school was Cromwell Community College.
Okie dokie. And did you study triple or double science?
I studied double science.
Double, okay, yep. Why did you choose Long Road?
Long Road was my first choice, and I wanted to be in the city, but wasn't quite clever enough to get into Hills. But I definitely enjoy Long now.
Yeah, we think you're pretty bright, so don't you worry. Okay, cool. Why applied science?
Well, I wanted to take biology, but I didn't quite get the grades to get into biology. But now I think applied science is so much better anyway.
Brilliant. What was your initial reaction when you found out you didn't qualify for applied for biology?
I was quite upset, but then they told me about applied science, and I was like, what's science? So.
Okay. Had you done any research on the BTEC courses beforehand?
I had like a booklet of Long Road, and I was looking more at the biology, but then I also did look at I think it was is it the 180 credits?
It would have been, yeah.
Big one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and looked at that and I was like, oh, that looked quite cool as well.
Okay, brilliant. Yeah, so quite a lot of our students don't necessarily choose applied science initially. It tends to be a subject which might need to come if students don't get the grades for A-level. So it's nice that you're one of those people, actually. What are the other subjects that you're taking?
I take A-level science and BTEC criminology.
Okay, BTEC criminology, cool. What are your plans after Long Road? Are you thinking about university?
Yeah, I'm thinking about University of Lincoln, but I'm struggling to decide between courses at the minute.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, so I've been to Lincoln. It's a very nice place, actually. So if that's where you want to go, I hope you enjoy it there. What do you find enjoyable about the course?
To be honest, I just love that it's like so much like chiller than biology in a way. Like I definitely prefer coursework because like I struggle in exams, like, and when it's just one exam, it puts a lot of pressure on you. But this spread out coursework, if you mess up on one like assignment, it's not the end of the world because you can bring it back with the other ones.
Okay, so talking about exams, this is a question for both of you two. How did you find the Unit 1 exam last year?
I actually, the Unit 1 exam actually really helped me because before at GCSE level, I was struggling with like revision techniques and everything. I didn't revise as much as I should have because I couldn't work out what was the best way for me to revise. And in Unit 1, I actually found the best way for me to revise by doing practice papers and making flashcards. So Unit 1 has really helped me because I've now been able to apply that to mocks and other exams and assessments, as well as my, hopefully at the end of the year, these A-levels, because I've sort of found what works best for me. So
Brilliant,
it was really, really helpful to have like an exam at the start of the year that sort of helped me work out all the kinks and all the best techniques. Yeah,
because if you're doing an A-level subject, the first exams, the real exams you'll ever do are at the end of year 2, so it's actually quite handy, wasn't it, to have an exam in January after only
it was
3
so
months.
helpful.
Yeah, exactly. So you found some study skills for life. What about you, Kat? How did you find the exam?
Yeah, I agree with Amy. I didn't think, well, obviously everyone finds exams different, but I definitely feel like that wasn't the hardest exam I've ever taken. It was quite because it's not just one exam that you're based off, because it's coursework and exam. I felt like it took a lot of pressure off, so therefore like my performance was better in the exam.
Okay, because they also broke the exam down, didn't they, into a small chemistry, a small biology, and a small physics paper. So did that kind of help as well? Just meaning you could revise in small chunks for the individual exams?
It takes,
exactly.
I think it takes a lot of pressure off. Like Kat said, you've got one exam at the start of the year, so it's a lot less pressure, and then it's broken up into 3 exams. It just, I feel like as teenagers we put a lot of pressure on ourselves to perform well, impress people, and it's really helpful because we were able to sort of take it step by step as opposed to all sort of happening at once. And I think it's also helped prepare us for other exams because it's given us a taste.
Excellent, brilliant. Okay, so I'm going to jump to the last question actually because of time, but what advice would you give yourself if you were back in year 11 again?
Yeah, I kind of agree with what Amy said earlier, that like honestly what you think's the worst thing that's ever happened to you is probably one of the best things. Like when I found out I couldn't do like biology, I was like heartbroken. But now looking back, I wouldn't have chosen it anyway. I'd have like stuck with applied science.
Okay, I'm glad you're happy with your decisions. Brilliant. Okay, so I just need to change the screen again, guys. There's a nice testimony from current students. So I'll turn the PowerPoint back again. My IT skills get pushed to the limit. Okay, that should be back up with Saffron on the screen. Okay, so you should be seeing Saffron again. I need to come across. So the only things I need to say to wrap up things are we have some open days in June, where depending on your subject choices you'll be invited back and you'll get to meet your future classmates. You may get to meet your future teacher, and you'll certainly get to try out some level 3 work. Okay, so it'll be a real taster session for you. We've also got open evenings in June, and this is primarily for year 10s, but because you are having to have a virtual event, we are happy for you to come on in and actually have a real physical look at the college. Okay, so those dates will be emailed up on our website, which leads me to my final slide. So the deadline for September 2021 enrolment is on the 12th of January. So if you're part of the CAP partnership, that is a separate enrolment process entirely. If your school is not part of CAP, then you need to click prospective students from the Long Road website, and that will guide you through the enrolment process. Okay, so if you've got any questions, general questions, please email inquiries@longroad.ac.uk or admissions@longroad.ac.uk. If there's any questions to do with open evening, then open evening longroad.ac.uk. Also, for the next 3 minutes, the Q&A session is still open, and our lovely applied science staff will be answering any of your questions. So in terms of the presentation, that is it. So thank you very much for watching, and hopefully we will see you again in September 2021. Thank you. Goodbye.